First off, I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular City Council meeting of May 21st, 2025 to order. I do want to state it's nice to see the chambers full. It's not often that we get that, so thank you for being a part of us here tonight. Ms. Cassandra, roll call.
Mayor David Romero.
Here.
Councilor Marvin Martinez.
Present.
Councilor Barbara Casey.
Here.
Councilor Michael Montoya.
Present.
Councilor David Ulivari.
He's excused.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We do have a quorum.
I know we have the West Las Vegas Esports team here. I don't know if they could lead us in the pledge. Mr. Bachicha. Go ahead.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Montoya, will you lead us in silence?
A moment of silence for all those that have passed away last week in our community. The unofficial mayor of Las Vegas, my cousin Tito Montoya, will be buried this morning. Our prayers be with his family and all the others that have died within our community that we have lost. We keep their families in prayer and in thought. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Probably gonna hear anything.
So, Ms. Cassandra, just out in the hallway, do we have the monitor on? Do you know for?
I believe it is on, but there is no sound. The speaker is not working.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that? So is there a way that those that do want to come in and participate, just, so they could hear this meeting, to come inside? Chief, Fire Chief, are we okay as far as the capacity?
A little louder, please.
Okay, so for those that are outside in the lobby, if you guys, do want to come in and listen in, we'll make room for you guys.
There's some empty chairs there.
There's a few empty chairs in here. If not, we'll. I just want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity. Okay, all right. Okay. Ms. Cassandra.
Mr. Mayor, approval of the agenda.
So councilors and, anybody speaking, let's make sure that our microphones are on, that everybody can hear. Make sure that they're read when we're speaking.
Approval of the agenda.
Managers?
I was going to see if we could request to move business item number 3 to business item number 1.
Mayor, I move that we move item number 3, which is the creation of an entertainment district resolution, to be number 1 instead of number 3.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call.
Councilor Montoya.
Yes.
Councilor Casey.
Yes.
Councilor Martinez.
Yes.
I have a motion by Councilor Casey, a second by Councilor Martinez. Mr. Mayor, motion carries. Moving on to public input. We do have several people signed up for public input this evening.
Okay.
We'll start with, by saying that they're allowed 3 minutes each for public input. As I call your name, please come up. First one we have is George Lyon, and he's speaking on the entertainment resolution.
Okay, and Cassandra, before we proceed with public input, I know the managers had a comment to make, and again, this doesn't want to take away. I know we have a lot of individuals here on this topic, but he did want to make a comment. Go ahead, Chief.
And I do apologize for that, for the clarification, but with business item number 3 being moved to number 1, I just wanted to clarify that there was some wording that was missed within the resolution that we wanted to revise and add into that for clarification purposes.
So we have 21,
21 signed up.
21, so 3 minutes. So if Mr. Marquez, one of you guys could keep track. 3 minutes each. 3 minutes each. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Timer's on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and esteemed council members. And I also want to thank President Wolf for attending. You're back there. I don't think a lot of people may not know you, if you would. Oh, there you are. Hi, President, thank you. President of the Highlands University. I'm here today to ask the City Council that at the last moment we were made aware of the resolutions you have. And we studied them, we grappled with them, and we personally have come to the conclusion that I thank the City Council for their foresight in learning that an entertainment district in Las Vegas, New Mexico would be an excellent idea. I think it's something that we truly need. But the reality is that the way that the resolutions are put together, they make myself and my partners collateral damage. With your first moratorium, which forbids the organization of a rehab facility or a mental health facility anywhere in Las Vegas, New Mexico, is the first hit. That's from your first resolution, that you have a moratorium in that. And then the second hit is how you're structuring the entertainment area, which happens to be where Samaritan happens to be located. It's right next to our beloved Lincoln Park, the family park. And it is all-encompassing. It would remove, as it stands now, existing businesses if they were to try to form there. You've limited the type of businesses that could be there by way of the resolution to nightclubs, theaters, art galleries. But you forbid in that area the very people that we need to be successful in keeping down the issue of addictions, the issues of mental illness, the issues of homelessness in our community. You're knocking out our partners, and we're here to speak of them and for them because we're in this together. Those include the prohibited uses that you've listed in Section 4 of this particular resolution, which is that no behavior health or mental health clinic could be organized in that area, no addiction treatment center, and no religious activity. All of these three together encompass the most significant part of what Samaritan does collectively. We are partners with these individuals. You've also denied the creation of halfway houses to eradicate homelessness in boarding homes and rehab centers.
3 minutes, Mr. Mayor.
And that's 3 minutes. Thank you. The rest
Thank
are
you.
here to talk about
All right.
it.
Thank you, Mr. Lane.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Vicky Ray Snyder, also speaking on the Entertainment District Resolution.
Hi, my name is Vicki Ray Snyder. I probably don't have 3 minutes worth of words. Actually, I have a lot of words. I run a CareNet, the Crisis Pregnancy Center in town, and I have a lot of clients, families, husbands, wives, grandparents that need the resources that are proposed to be blocked. As it is right now, it's very challenging, and most of my clients have to go to other cities in order to get the resources that we should and could have here in our town. So when I saw this, I was distraught, thinking that it's going to make it even harder to give these people resources in order to raise their families properly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Phyllis Ludi, also speaking on the Entertainment District Resolution.
Good afternoon, councilors and mayor. My name is Phyllis Ludi. I live on Jackson Street, 2 blocks west of Lincoln Park. And like Mr. Lyons, I learned about this resolution at 9 o'clock this morning. There is a statement, the resolution approving the creation of an entertainment district within the Greater Douglas Avenue corridor. The resolution is to regulate businesses within the district based on neighborhood character, environmental concerns, and potential nuisance activities. The key word is regulate. You don't make a regulation without following the proper process. There is a process. The process includes public notice, public meetings, hearings, presentation of evidence consisting of what is the city's plan and zoning ordinances, and how are they being followed. It's not sufficient to say in half a sentence, oh yes, we're following the plan. You have to show how. You have to show assessments of the impacts to existing residents, users of the area, and businesses, everyone involved. You have to show what the city's findings are. You can't just say, as this resolution says, oh yes, the city's findings are that we need it. That's necessary, it's not sufficient. And how are you going to make these bullet points reality? You get all the way down to the bottom, and at the bottom it says that if you sign it tonight with no process, the city manager or designee is hereby authorized to implement this resolution, including the development of specific regulations and guidelines. Where is the public in this process? You have to involve the public. You're not governing by fiat, not right now. That may change. But right now, you've got to follow the process. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Molly Smollett, also speaking on the Entertainment District Resolution.
Following up on what George Lyon said, and I applaud him for helping people who don't have a roof over their heads. I've come here 30 years ago from New York City, and we had many, many homeless people, and I tried my best to help that situation. And there was a saying, and it's universal, love thy neighbor, and I think we have to really be aware of that. You can't have a town or a city that's sterile. Everything exists. You go in New York City and there's a shelter there, or there's entertainment on the next block. It's all mixed up, and that what makes a beautiful city. And that's what we have to think of here. As I said, I thought you all took an oath when you got into office to care about everybody in the community, and I hope that you'll remember that oath, that we have to care for each other. And right now, with the government that we have, has taken a sledgehammer to every department in the government. And so we as a town have to come together and help each other the best we can, and that includes the homeless people. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Arnold David Arianes, also speaking on the Entertainment District, specifically the Samaritan House.
Mr. Arianes.
Honorable Mayor and council members, I'm back revisiting the situation I spoke about many months ago in the same place to the mayor and city council. Although there has been seemed to be a short respite with the operation of the Samaritan House on the corner of Lincoln and 7th Street, I feel the need to once again voice some opposition to continual operation of the facility There was a timeout, a respite, as the Samaritan House seemed to have been shut down for a bit, and an uptick in families and residents of Las Vegas using the park for recreation and enjoying themselves. I'm a proud and mostly happy resident of the Lincoln Park neighborhood. My aunt and uncle bought their home on Lincoln Park back in the 50s. I spent most of my youth living with them and currently live in the home they purchased back then. Now, as a retired teacher, I have so looked forward to spending my retirement days living at that same home, sitting on the porch and watching children, families, sports teams from the different schools, using and enjoying Lincoln Park as my uncle and aunt, my brothers and sisters, and I used to do. I remember as a child playing with my friends in the park, feeling safe and protected by the community of residents who lived around the park and in the park area. This is no longer the situation in the area. Since the opening of the shelter, I have been approached several times by people asking for money while I am crossing the park to go for a soda at the Allsups. While sitting on my porch, I have seen more than once couples engaging in sexual intercourse at the base of the bandstand, several people trying to pry open the small door under the bandstand, and countless numbers of people seen urinating around the gazebo on a regular basis. I've observed drug deals taking place out in the open and a dead body that sat or laid there for hours and hours. As a retired teacher and former police officer, I understand the need for caring and compassion for the homeless, the needy, and those who may be affected by addiction. I feel it is absolutely important for our community to do its collective best to assist those that are experiencing trying times and support programs which help those that are less fortunate. Services must be provided for those whom, through possibly no fault of their own, have become homeless, addicted, or both. I do, however, ask, would the city condone placing the Samaritan House next to a school or place where children gather to play in open space? How many of our churches in the Las Vegas area support having the Samaritan House right next to their place of worship? How often is it said not in my neighborhood without sounding righteous? Well, I understand the letter might come across for some as being righteous. However, we need to find a smarter place for the Samaritan House, a place not directly across the park where children and families gather. Lincoln Park, where student track athletes used to run daily and families enjoyed the beautiful space, cannot lose its special place in our wonderful community. Thank you for your time and cooperation.
Thank you, Mr. Arianes.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Brooks Potts, also speaking on the Entertainment District.
Mayor, Council, I live at 719 Jackson Street, right across from Lincoln Park and right across from Samaritan House. I lived here since August of 2023, and to parrot the last individual, I've seen everything from public indecency, vandalism, needles, theft, private property being stolen. And I want to preface by saying, it's important for us to focus on our homeless problem. I'm somebody who believes in public good. Whenever I have a chance, I search for, furniture and shirts and things like that at the gift shop. And, I believe in their mission, and I think it's important that the community focus on that. And when I heard about this today, I hadn't really had a chance to interact with the community about the discussions that happened at the Castaneda about 6 to 8 months ago. And I know that this has been an ongoing discussion for a very long time. I not long ago received paperwork from the university that talked about what makes the surrounding areas historically significant to the district. And I noticed that on the outline for Douglas Avenue, or the Douglas District, it does include Lincoln Park, and it also includes buildings there that are of a historic nature, and I'm sure I don't have to tell anybody how important that area is. But, I live in an old railroad boarding house, and it breaks my heart to see these people out here that are still continuing to not receive the kind of treatment that they need. They're still abusing drugs and alcohol, and it appears like that the issue hasn't been resolved. I don't know what the answer is. I really hope that the Samaritan House can find an equal solution with the city so that everybody can be happy. But it's upsetting to see these people. And I mean, I've got Melanie Petit, I mean, she went and she painted all over everything. I mean, she put yellow hearts on everything, you know, and I know it probably wasn't my responsibility and it was probably the Parks Department, but I went out there and I cleaned it all up because it hurt me. I was like, this is our historic park. It's not supposed to be this way. So if there is a solution, I definitely think the city and the Samaritan House need to have more discussions together to solve that so that maybe they can find a place where it's most beneficial and maybe even closer to the drug rehab facilities. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Meredith Britt, also speaking on the Entertainment District.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and city councilors and everyone. And my message is in support of Samaritan House and their efforts to help the homeless people. And I believe that the city, the citizens, and Samaritan House should help homeless people, and that if our community focuses on the worst problems, the people at the bottom, and I don't mean that they are the worst problem, but their situation is, that we will help the entire community, that if we work from the bottom up, we will help our entire community. And to me, that seems so obvious. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Reverend Jill Klein, also speaking on the Entertainment District resolution.
Hello, Reverend.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, staff, and community. My name is Reverend Jill Klein. I am the priest at St. Paul's Episcopal Lutheran Church at 8th and National. I, too, just found out about this particular issue yesterday about 3:30 or 4 when some community members called and asked if I had heard about it. And I'm here to speak just to say, I mean, a lot of what I want to say has already been said. So I'm just going to say, when I look at the outline of the proposed entertainment district, and I look at the language that does not offer anything about grandfathering in existing businesses, that might be the language you're referring to, my immediate concern is this district, without allowing grandfathered existing businesses, will eliminate 3.5 churches, at least 2 feeding ministries, 1 shelter, 1 treatment program, multiple recovery and peer support groups, and Neighbors Helping Neighbors, which operates out of the Methodist Church, and they run their peer support out of my church. And they've put $1.5 million into the community, helping members of the community recover from the fires and floods. Even if the language is put in so that none of those things are eliminated, when I look at the prohibited uses of behavioral health, mental health, addiction treatment centers, non-accredited licenses, schools or training centers, religious activities or churches, food distribution shelters, residential reentry management centers, halfway houses, boarding houses, or first floor living quarters, I think, man, if all of that is eliminated, but you are allowing restaurants, bars, nightclubs, live music, et cetera, you're going to need the bail bondsman that is also eliminated. Just saying. I'm also going to say that by eliminating 3.5 churches in this district, you've made it a great entertainment district and potentially Sin City with no place to go for our confessions. So I ask you, I ask you to reconsider having this on the agenda as a voting item tonight. I respectfully request that you remove it as a vote tonight and open up a community forum for public feedback. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Mark Seiss, also speaking on the Entertainment District resolution.
It's a little hard for me to address the issue that I really want to address. There's different things that have been brought up, but in my finding out and hearing that some of the language is going to be changed, I'm not sure which language is going to be changed. Maybe we'll find out later in the meeting. But I want to let you know that I'm not anti-anything when it comes down to Las Vegas. I am pro-Las Vegas. I lived here, moved here 30 years ago with my wife. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary in June. I'm not against anything when it comes down to the council. I'm not against any of the council members. I'm not against the mayor. I'm not even against alcohol and them serving alcohol. I mean, it's legal. You do it. It's okay. The thing that got me and that really got me was I was watching Facebook yesterday. God bless Facebook. And they said no churches, no religious activity. And that's what got me. And that's when I said, I need to stand up. I need to call pastors. I need to call nonprofits, and I need to let them go. Nobody knew anything about it. Nobody knew. And there's probably 13 to 15 people that I called. None of them knew anything about it, but they know about it today. I pulled out all of the notes from page 64 about to 69. I printed it out. I sent it to everybody. I said, this is what they want to do. And I'm not here to, even though I am for the Samaritan House, I'm for rehab, I'm for group homes, and we need to have those things going on. But I'm speaking specifically to the exemption of religious activities. If I want to have a religious activity on Douglas Street, I'm going to have one. And also, just to let you know, is that I believe that is inherently in the Constitution of the United States that you cannot do that, and there's also ADA, and I'm sure you're familiar with all of that. What gets me is that this is exclusionary. What we're doing is we're excluding people. And this town has been a divided town for as long as we've been around, and way before. This has always been a divided town. We cannot divide this town. We cannot exclude. We have to be people that are including one another. We need dialogue. We need to be able to talk to one another. We need to be able to shake hands with each other. We need to come together, and I am, as a representative of the faith community in Las Vegas, New Mexico, and surrounding areas, say I don't like the way it was written. I want to find out what the changes are, and I'm here to work and to dialogue with whoever will dialogue with me. God bless you. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Sheila Cavett Ogi, also speaking on the Entertainment District Resolution.
Community needs some council members. My name is Sheila Cavett, and I'm a employee at the Samaritan House. My concern is that here we are talking a lot about the addictions and the alcohol and the use of drug needles and all that kind of stuff. Now, what I'm not really knowing a lot about what's going on, but I can say this from my heart, is that why would we want to segregate those people and bring in, that's just like if you can't beat them, join them, is what I'm getting out of this. And that's all I really have to say. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Rachel Cabeza de Vaca, speaking on Samaritan House.
Hey, everybody. I work at the Samaritan House thrift store, and my knowledge base is pretty narrowed to that. So I mostly have questions. I guess I'm curious, what is the city government currently doing to help the homeless people in Las Vegas?
So this is public input right now, so all we can take right now is the public input. So you're allowed your 3 minutes to say what you want to say. I know when this item, when we're discussing this item, there'll be more discussion amongst the governing body.
Second thing is, if the Samaritan House is kicked out and shut down, I think probably the Samaritan House thrift store will be shut down, as there will be no means for it anymore. I think, and this may be minor, it may be not so minor, but a good portion of your community relies a lot on that thrift store to be able to afford a lot of necessities and luxuries in their lives. So keep it in mind when you're talking about and thinking about the way you're running things. And like, I'm in support of an entertainment district, but as other people have said before me, you need to include everybody.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have James R. Campbell, also speaking on the same resolution.
So I just want to, clarify just from the public input that I gather here. So co-managers, just for the record specifically, there was no intent to get rid of Samaritan House, am I correct? For the
None
record?
whatsoever. Samaritan House has nothing to do with this resolution.
Okay,
And we were able to have a conversation with Mr. Lyons today, this afternoon as well.
Okay. Yeah, so when we get to, I know, we're having the public input, but I wanted to make sure, that was, noted to the public here. As we get to the next item, after all this, we'll get more into the discussion and, what the intent was behind this resolution. But as we move forward with public input, if you don't mind, go ahead and stating, the individual stating your name. I know that she's calling them out, but if you guys could state your name. Thank you.
My name is James R. Campbell. I'm the retired pastor from the Presbyterian Church, which has been very, very much involved in ministry to this community, including Samaritan House. This resolution came upon us very quickly, and I would just suggest, I don't know what the intent is behind the resolution. Whether it's to clear the churches out and shut them down, or is it just targeting Samaritan House? That's the background that was not given. My suggestion, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I think it would be really good to table the resolution until there is more study and input from the people affected. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Fabiola Sanchez, also speaking on the Entertainment District resolution.
My name is Fabiola Sanchez. Thank you for allowing us the time to speak. And I have a lot of different things to speak about. So I ask also that this would be tabled until more study can be done. It's the wording in the whole thing is very vague. I'm not sure about grandfathering businesses that are already there, like Samaritan House would be grandfathered in. But the problem is not only for them, but the people that need the help the most are the people that would benefit from all the businesses you choose to make sure can't open there, can't operate there. I'm all for promoting Las Vegas, and an entertainment center would not be all bad, but why not include the whole city in the entertainment business rather than just regulating it to one block or an area? But my thing is that this regulation, this thing you're trying to pass is having an all-encompassing, making sure that you're protecting this entertainment district. What I would ask the city, why not take the homeless, the addiction problem, and having an all-encompassing program that covers that? Because the homeless is not a problem that Samaritan House has created. They're trying to solve the problem. The homeless problem is a problem that belongs to the city, and the city is the one that should be taking care of it. Making sure that we have places for the homeless to live, to get treated, to get help. The Samaritan House also doesn't only help the homeless. They give out hundreds of food boxes every single week. And if you would see the lines, you would see that there's a need in this town. The thrift store helps lots of people get clothing that they can't afford otherwise. So I would urge the city to look at the whole problem of homelessness and everything that you're trying to eliminate with this entertainment section, and make a resolution that you take care of the homeless problem and the addiction problem, the mental health problem that we have in this city is rampant. That you would look at that and concentrate on taking care of those problems before you take care of an entertainment problem. I remember when I was young, when there was, and I'm sure those of you that live here all your lives know that there was a bar on every block. And what a blessing it is that we don't have that anymore. But now we want to encourage more businesses like that, that's going to add to the addiction problem.
That's 3 minutes, Mr.
You know,
Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Hutchins.
thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Dave Snyder, also speaking on the Entertainment District Resolution.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hello. I've been hearing a lot about the stuff about the homeless and the stuff like this, but we have another issue that I wish the city would focus a little bit more on building strong families as well. We have, the strength of a community comes from strong families. That's talking about fathers in the home, mothers with their children. And when you start bringing in entertainment districts and stuff like this, I look at it, is that going to create another problem? And our family's going to be suffering for a little bit more for that. So in order, it's a problem with the entire country, but our community could use its resources more to develop stronger families than to have just a place for them to go out once in a while. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Fred Turner, speaking on Samaritan House.
Greetings, Mr. Mayor, Council. I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
If you don't mind, just so that everybody hears you, come to the mic and then just
All right.
say your name for the record.
Firsthand, sweeping a problem under the rug doesn't make it go away. So I'm going to ask that you consider tabling this bill so further research can be done so everyone in the community can benefit. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Rebecca Moore, speaking on Samaritan House.
Welcome, Ms. Moore.
Brought my own timer. My name is.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Dr. Rebecca Moore. I'm on faculty in the School of Social Work, and I serve on the Board of Directors for Samaritan House, as does Mrs. Tisha Wolf, who is the president of the university's wife. And I can't say anything else other than what has already been said. We recognize that homelessness, addictions, behavioral health, all of these issues are systemic, and it's more complicated than most people realize. I've spoken before the city council several years ago, and at that time, I remember telling all of the council members that we're talking about our community, our people, our relatives, our brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, and uncles who are experiencing very difficult situations. And Samaritan House has been providing resources and services for over 40 years. And as I was listening to all of the individuals speaking before me, this proposed entertainment district ordinance is definitely exclusionary, and it's not creating a wholesome environment. Just as the previous speaker said, we should be concerned about the holistic health of the community, including families, children, school, and not focusing on a segment that will provide revenue to this community. And as I'm continuing to process all of this, and this is from a larger level, we speak about agape love, Christian values, and morality. But what are we really doing to demonstrate that we want to take care of those unfortunate situations with our brothers and sisters who don't have the resources or the capacity to be able to take care of themselves? And at this point, I would really invite all of the council members to attend a Samaritan House board meeting to see what we do and how effective we really are. The issue of, we don't have an issue with providing the services. We have an issue with not having the resources to do the work that we have asked for. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Matthew Bias, speaking on, sorry about that, speaking on the Entertainment District Resolution.
Council, members of the community, I'm very grateful that we can get together and discuss like this, even on short notice. My wife and I live at the corner of 501 6th Street, which is at the corner of Lincoln and Grand. And yes, we have watched all of this happen since the Samaritan House came in. Yes, we've had our windshield broken. Yes, we've had to field off panhandlers and basically, do you have any, can I get any meth from you? I mean, all this has happened. It was worse for a short period when the Samaritan House was closed and there was no resource. As we've watched this over the years, the police have actually made a huge difference for us. They have been able to keep many of the ones that were very disturbing away. There's a sense of sort of a little bit of peace now, but table this ordinance, please. And the ironic part is that we used to have religious services, in a sense, in the park. I mean, how does that work? Okay, now you have to party in the park? You can't have religious services in the park? There's so much about the writing of this that just needs to be revisited. And I really do want to commend the police force for what they've done, because I've seen them speak to the people like counselors. Not forceful, unless necessary, but I've seen them speak as counselors to homeless people. I would like to see the shelter moved, yes. Do I like it in my area? No. Do I see the families returning? No. Do I see more activity with dogs and some people returning? Yes. But it's not like it used to be. I would love to see it be back as a family thing. But you can't get rid of Samaritan House. All I can see is, like was said, figure out a way to help take care of them. Because they're not all bad, and they're not all there by choice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Lee Einer, speaking on the Entertainment District Resolution, the moratorium, and the charter.
Mr. Reiner?
Honorable Council.
Will you have 3 minutes for all those three topics?
I'm going to try and talk fast, so
Thank you.
don't be mad if I seem abrupt. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start with the last, the charter. It makes the city attorney's position optional rather than mandatory. And everything else I say to you in this 3 minutes is going to illustrate why that's a bad idea, why as legislators you need robust legal support with somebody on staff not 24/7, but 365, okay? Because things jump the rail here. First of all, I think that the entertainment district, what you're trying to do is zoning. I don't believe you can do that by resolution. That's an issue. You say it doesn't really, it's not targeted towards Samaritan House, but don't make that argument in court, because everything on the face of it says Samaritan House is being targeted. And that's not appropriate use of zoning, even if you were using the right legal instrument to do it. That's abuse of process. That's weaponization of zoning. That's not what we need here. And it's, besides being entirely messed up, it's not going to be effective. You can't zone homelessness away. Okay, moving on. Who on earth thought that government could ban churches and religious activities here in the United States? That is what you're proposing. It's a constitutional violation. A city attorney would tell you that if they were worth their salt at all. Actually, most high school graduates would say that. So we can't do that. I sympathize with everybody here who lives in Lincoln Park, who's having to deal with homeless people, mentally ill people, drug users who see people relieving themselves in the alley. Guess what? You have a nuisance ordinance. You have laws against indecent exposure, drug abuse, drug possession, everything, vandalism, everything that people are describing here. They call for treatment and they call for policing. Again, not zoning. That is not the answer. Man, you need to go back to the drawing board on this. And again, with respect to the city charter, changing that shall to a may with respect to the city attorney is an awful idea. I know you've been having issues recruiting a city attorney. Man, I've seen how many you fired over the years. I think there's maybe a reason for that. But what you want to do is adjust your behavior to the charter, not adjust the charter to your misbehavior. That's not a good look. Thank you and have a good night.
Mr. Mayor, next we have Ramona Siribaca Archuleta on the entertainment resolution.
Ms. Cassandra, how many do we have left still?
3 after her.
My name is
Welcome.
Ramona Siribaca Archuleta Baca. I have lived in Las Vegas for at least 80 years, off and on. And I have seen what entertainment centers can do to people, to young people, to even little ones, because the mothers or the fathers are beating up on the wives after a night out in the entertainment center. You don't want that. Also, I've seen 4-year-old, I believe, little girls freezing in the cold in the winter. Why? They don't have a home. Mama and Daddy couldn't make it. And they're out in the street, they're homeless, they don't have a place to rest or a place to live. And I've seen Samaritan House offer a home for this lady with this child. I have seen the thrift store for Samaritan House provide clothing and warm bedding and everything for that home. And that's not the only one. So when you talk about restraining a thing like Samaritan House, where someone in really, really need can come to, you are not for this city. You are for something else. I hate to say what it is, and I won't. But let's think about it. Let's consider other things more. And let's let the Samaritan House come above the entertainment systems or centers or houses that you would want to build. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, next we have John Encinas speaking on the entertainment resolution.
Mr. John Encinas,
He's passing.
you're passing? Okay.
Next we have Ray, I'm not sure what the last name is, but 861 Sperry.
Okay. Welcome.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, very briefly, I didn't know we didn't have a city attorney, and that probably explains a lot. The wording in the resolution, and it's already been said very clearly, but to make it a little, a bullet point.
Just for the record, again.
What was the last name? Mr. Ray?
I'm sorry, my name is Ray Ruby.
Ruby.
Okay. The bullet point that says no religious activity and no churches is not only incredibly overbroad, but as has already been pointed out, that's a violation of the First Amendment. And it would never pass muster in court, you're inviting a lawsuit. And so I would, I think, along with everybody else, you need to kind of table this, rethink this. A resolution is not the proper way of doing it. You have to pass legislation and zoning, et cetera, as has been pointed out. But we're not going to hand over our First Amendment rights because of anything the city does. We're going to continue to do what we do and be who we are. And in the United States, according to the Bill of Rights, we have the right, and the government can't prohibit free exercise of religion in speech, in printing, and assembly. And we can petition the government. That means we can sue if those rights are violated. So I'm just want to be here to make that point. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, lastly, we have Corina Laszlo Henry speaking on the entertainment district and the moratorium.
Thank you, Corina Laszlo Henry. I have some experience with homelessness prevention.
Can you the microphone, please?
I'm sorry, move it.
Just get close to it is usually.
Hi there, Mayor, Council. I'm really encouraged by just this turnout. Obviously, people, you know, there's some momentum here, maybe, to keep moving forward with solutions that work for the city. I want to just reiterate a couple of the things that were said. Again, I think that there's just a point of order around the notice that needs to happen for zoning. And so I'd like to ask you guys, when you have either a chance to get a discussion going, and sometimes I know these things move really quickly to agenda, ask about 321.6B in terms of what kind of notice goes in. Ask about the effects on existing uses in those when zoning amendments are made. Those are important things, I think, for you to know about. Ask about seemingly pretextual reasons if it looks like there's a problem that's trying to be addressed and it's being done in a way that is, you know, aimed at a particular business that's already existing. Obviously, you have that authority to provide for welfare with zoning. I want to point out that with your proposed moratorium, or apparently it's already in effect and has been in effect, that all of the described uses are residential. You're talking about congregate living homes, communal homes, halfway houses, reentry homes. Those are homes. Again, you know, I've spent a lot of work trying to keep people housed. And as a city, you do not have the right to determine the makeup of those homes. And that's what this moratorium tries to do. It's been done before, and that's the case of, again, something to put on your list to ask. Hill versus Community of Damien of Molokai. It's a 1996 New Mexico Supreme Court case out of Albuquerque. Same exact thing. We get to decide who lives here. No, it's residential. If the use is residential, you don't get to decide what the makeup of that household composition is. And it's also, it's cutting your nose off to spite your face. We're talking about the exact wraparound services that everybody's bringing to the city here to try and help curb the problem. And that has had some success, you know, hearing from some of the speakers here. So continue to work together, you know. I want to reiterate, I think we have some of the best community policing. I've seen how folks handle it. Enforce the laws that you have. Follow the law if you're going to pass some changes to that and amend your zoning. And I reiterate that the moratorium has exactly those problems. Please ask about that 1996 Supreme Court case. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor, that concludes public input. Moving on to our next item, mayor's appointments, reports, recognitions, and proclamations.
So I know that a lot of you are here. What we'll do, we still have a few items before business item number 3. So we'll, these other topics, we have councilors, mayor's reports, councilors' reports, police chief's reports, finance report, and then we'll get to that next topic. So at this time, I'd like to call.
So I'm under the understanding item 3 wasn't moved to item number 1?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
spoke.
Oh, okay, all right, got it, thank you.
So at this time, I'd like to call up Mr. Kenneth Bachicha. First, congratulate, his 3-time state champs Esports team. Thank you, Mr. Bachicha. So what I'll do at this time, I'd like to award some certificates of recognition to the West Las Vegas High School Esports Class 3A State Championships. First one is, I think, just Kenneth Bachicha, right? You don't have a, okay. Coach Kenneth Bachicha.
Hello? Can we speak, please make it louder? Some of us are very old.
Okay, so I'll sit down. Next, we have Mr. Isaiah Montoya. I don't know if he's around. Mr. Josiah Rubio. Aaron Sanchez Gabaldon. Right here. Mr. Alexander Pacheco. Mr. Angelo Salazar. Miss Ariana Barella. Aurelia Miller. She's not here. Brandon Ramos. I think I saw CJ here. CJ Perea. Mr. Darius Abeta. Mr. Deshaun Kinsey. Devin Sandoval. Dominic Ulivari. Mr. Ethan Tafoya. Felicity Higgins. Right here. Heath Sprick. Sprick. Not here. Isaiah Lujan. No. Jason Gallegos. Mr. Jason Gallegos. Are the parents here? Jesus Reyna. Jonathan Gonzalez. Josiah Grego. This guy came with all the medals.
No, thank you.
Don't bend over. We'll fall over.
Mark Balizan. Markel Peterson. Navea Jaramillo. Navea Romero. Roberto Bobby Ortiz. Right here. And Xavius Jaramillo. Right here. Again, Coach Bachicha, congratulations. I know, this team that you've put together, it's been, 3 years that you've had them, maybe longer. But I know these guys are even ranked nationally, which is a big honor. And on behalf of the city council, we're glad that you guys represent our community, you represent them well. So thank you. And I don't know if you have something to say, if you don't mind going to the mic and, yeah.
Make these guys suffer. It's hard to corral them all. Now that school's ending, they're hard to. It's like herding cats, guys. I'm telling you. So, real quickly, my name is Kenneth Bachicha. I am the proud head coach of West Las Vegas High School's esports team. I am also a teacher at West Las Vegas High School, and I have the pleasure of working with these great students throughout the school year. This season is hard to describe in words, but I will try my best. We had a total of 25 team members. We had a total of 11 seniors, so we have 14 members set to return next season. We competed in 8 varsity esports titles and 1 JV title. I had 2 assistant coaches at the high school this season, Mr. Isaiah Montoya and Mr. Josiah Rubio. Among the team accomplishments are being ranked in the top 13 esports teams in the nation. Nationally, teams from California to Washington, D.C., this team has been the number 1 ranked 3A team in the nation for 2 years in a row. For the 3rd year in a row, the three-peat West Las Vegas Esports was your Class 3A team state champions. Our Splatoon 3 team went into the state tournament as the number 3 seed and then proceeded to upset the number 1 seed and number 2 seed to win the state championship. Our Rocket League team won the district championship and finished as state runner-up. That team was comprised of nothing but seniors. Our Super Smash Brothers team also won their district championship and finished as state runner-up. Our Mario Kart team played exceptionally well throughout the year and finished the season as state runner-up. Our Street Fighter team went on a great run, defeating the number 1 seed Portales in the tournament and finished as state runner-up. We had 2 seniors, Mark Badizan and Dominic Ulubari, make it to the state semifinals in Madden. They landed up facing each other in the 3rd and 4th place game. We had a great regular season for our NBA 2K players, Alex Pacheco and Devin Sandoval. Mr. Pacheco finished as the number 1 seed and finished 4th overall. Our Hearthstone team improved all season long and played a great match in the quarterfinals, eventually losing to the state champion Portales team. The team accumulated a new state 3A record of 157 team points, breaking a record set by our 2023 West Las Vegas High School esports team. This team was so dominant that they beat the 2nd place Bosque team by 55 points. Wow. And 3rd place Sandia Prep by 98 points. By the end of the state tournament, I was told by the NMAA that they will be changing the point system next season in an attempt to make the classification more competitive. I have dubbed the new points adjustments the West Las Vegas Esports Mercy Rule. Thank you all for your incredible support and this record-breaking season from these student athletes.
She wants to I'd love to say a few words. You can. I'm 17 now.
Ready, guys?
Hold on. Hold on.
1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
And most of those say a few words. No. You and our reputation. I would love to. Don't let him say I would love to.
And thanks to the assistant coach, Mr. Ken Abita. And I'll leave that as I know we have quite of a bit to take care of today, so next item.
Mr. Mayor, next we have councilors' reports.
Councilors?
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to forgo my report because we have so much to work on.
Counselors?
I will pass.
Yes. Next item.
Moving on to our police chief's report. We have our police chief, Mr. Caleb Marcus.